they did give themselves every chance by scoring a thriller against the Brisbane Lions yesterday. Let's take a look at that.
They did, TJ. 4 goals, 5 to 2-2 in the last quarter. And here, Charlie Cameron, he puts them 17 points up with 7 minutes to go. Joe Daniher has another shot after that. Should have put them away, but enter Lachie Schultz. He had a couple of big moments. I'm a big fan of Lachie Schultz. I think he's, you know, it hasn't been a perfect season for him, but he's going to be a wonderful player for the next 7 or 8 years for the Collingwood Football Club. This was what Craig McRae will show time and time again in the auditorium on Monday. That chase down tackle by Isaac Quaynor, and then Schultz gets involved back again. Awesome, just playing on instinct. They've got to allow him to play a little bit more instinctively, and they'll get the best out of him. And then the Beau McCreary one, Shadow Brain, just inexperienced there, got on the wrong side of McCreary, and he's been important for him coming back as well, TJ.
See, the Lachie Schultz narrative is interesting because when I left, it was the worst trade ever. And now everyone's sort of pumping him up, and rightfully so, but it's indicative of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to say on Monday night, I touched on this. Yeah, on Monday night, just saying that it's too early to be going, Jack Ginnivan. I think they'll both be good for their clubs, but I think Schultz will be a very good player for Collingwood over the journey.
Collingwood are the best at the close finishes, as we know, but Brisbane couldn't have got it any worse yesterday. They absolutely botched it. Let's have a look at Joe Daniher. So he misses the goal, and this is his next effort. That's not an effort of a player that wants to win the game and hold them up because it's very close. Here's Starcevic. Just needs to corral here and not allow Schultz to get past him. If he corrals him, he doesn't kick the goal. I know it's a grubber along the ground, but what's he doing back there, Starcevic? Just allows. So that's 2 goals they've kicked that they shouldn't have. And, Lloyd, you spoke about this one here. Here's Brain. And then you also got Jack Crisp out here on his own as well. So I'm not sure where all the Brisbane players are. They're still in front. They need to be holding. They're not. They kick another goal. So all of a sudden they're in front. Why they've got players behind the football. Now they're behind. They need to have everybody on deck. I'm not sure what they're trying to save. They are a point down. And then Collingwood have the ball in their half, and they've got 1, 2 loose here. I'm not sure what they're doing at the moment to have loose players behind the football, because if you kick it out, there's Collingwood players everywhere just going to pop it back in. And then they eventually do get the ball out. This happens. They get the footy back in. Now you've got the players behind you, so you may as well use them. Then they panic. They just didn't play the same way Collingwood did late. And although Brisbane botched a very easable top 4.
Yeah, and probably the premiership, I reckon, Brownie. I mean, to finish top 2, which was on the line as an interstate club, is so vital. And we mentioned Joe Daniher. We speak about him regularly. It was the full Joe package yesterday. There was some absolutely brilliant play from Joe. You think this guy could be the best player in the league. But then you get this. Charlie Cameron just needs that ball sat in front of him and he runs into an open goal. Joe tries to take a bounce. Then there's this brilliant stuff. So the contrast between some of the best football we've seen from any key forward to some of the worst was on display. And I said last night that this is why he's never been regarded as a superstar, because he does that. He launches torps when they've got a pretty handy lead at a critical stage. You can go back, kick your 5th, bury the game. Look at the score there, 17 points up. That is why he'll never be regarded as a game superstar when he had the potential to be that.
The past fortnight has been disastrous for the Lions, hasn't it, from the big picture perspective? The game against GWS the previous week, they were in front by 3 goals late in the piece, conceded the last 5, and then we just witnessed and critiqued what happened yesterday against the Pies. Lordo, 5 years previously, including a grand final loss by a kick, they were the most successful team if you want to just look at it in isolation of finals appearances and performances. But we now get to 2024 and they've, in the past fortnight, fallen down the ladder to remove themselves from controlling the possibility of a double chance.
Yeah, this is going to be a wasted era now. I think I'm with Kane. I think they're going to have to go interstate for every final to win it. I don't think they're capable of doing that. And they had it all there for them, and they've put the last couple of weeks, haven't they? So 2nd, 4th, 6th, 2nd and 5th, when they've had a lot of top 4 opportunities. And I think Lachie Neale's a year older, Harris Andrews, the list goes on, of Charlie Cameron, and I think they've missed out on a wonderful time to not just win one, but win a couple.
If Collingwood is to make the 8, all right, based on what you saw last night in particular, they would surely pose headaches for those sides above them.
Well, they would on the MCG, I think, when you have that crowd. I think they're still so reliant on Nick Daicos. Like, he was the one, and it's still the older... Pendlebury through the second quarter had 10 touches. That got them back into the game. Still side bottom at his age doing that. I just think they're a bit thin through the midfield and so reliant on Nick Daicos, who was the match winner for them yesterday.
All right, Mason Cox to join us on the program a little later on. That was a good word you came up with, easeable.
Easeable, yeah.
Where'd that come from?
It's a Combination of easy and able.
And I think I said butched. I should have said botched. Apologies.
That was fine.
Yeah,
Look, you've been away for a few days, all of you there, so it's just a little
I'm
bit
self-reporting before it comes up on SEN on Saturday.
And this was something of a brutal night out for both Collingwood and Brisbane fans. But in the end, Collingwood did what they did best, getting them to the stage that they are, and that is come from behind.
They did too, Jay. It was a wonderful win by Collingwood. 61,000 fans going nuts there for the Magpies. Lachie Schultz had a big last quarter, kicking 2 goals. Nick Daicos does what Nick Daicos does, and Mason Cox was also influential and joins us this morning. Thanks, Mason.
Thanks for having me.
What a win it was. Keeps your season alive. How are you feeling this morning?
A bit sore this morning, as you do, or the morning after a game. But, yeah, it was a massive, massive win for us as a club to keep us in the finals hunt. And, those people you mentioned, Nick Daicos and Lachie Schultz, I think, we call him Shooter, but Lachie Schultz, he's one of those people that kind of goes under the radar, I feel like, from the media a bit. And we value so much of what he does. And he's an incredible player. And we're very fortunate to have brought him over from Freo.
These are the clips of Lachie Schultz, and how does he cope with it? Because I think sometimes those guys, he's over in Perth, I'm sure there's a lot of scrutiny there, but the Ginnivan trade, some comparing him to Ginnivan a fair bit. Has he found it difficult fitting into the new system as well this year?
No, he's slotted right in. Like he's pretty much played, I feel like, every single game this year.
Yeah.
And he's a bit of a different player. He's a massive pressure player, so sometimes pressure doesn't get, the laudits that, kicking goals does. So last night to see him kick some of those massive goals in the end of the game was awesome. But yeah, he's one of those players. He's one of my favourite people to play with because he's a small guy that blocks for the big guys, And as a little fella, sometimes going and hitting a ruckman is not always the most ideal thing, but he enjoys it and he makes the most of it.
Mason, even before the Craig McRae era, you've played in a lot of close matches. Are you able to put it into context where yesterday's was in the whole scheme of things?
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was very important for us and our team to try to make finals. And, to come back after that, being down, I think it was maybe 20 points in the fourth, and to kind of slowly see that kind of get chipped away. And to see some of the smalls like Bo McQuarrie be able to come and bob up and kick some important goals. And, Isaac Quiner laying a huge tackle in the last quarter. It's great to see those guys, shine on the big stage. And for us, that energy that we get from our fans is incredible. We're very fortunate to have one of the biggest fan bases. And for us to be able to have that kind of win in front of them and then to get up and about and go nuts, it was incredible to have. I think it was 60-odd thousand there.
Okay, but I've got to say, as a Collingwood supporter, it's still disappointing that you're in this position where you're probably not going to make the finals. So why is it that? Well, that's the cold hard fact.
All right.
No, but that's the cold hard fact. I mean, we're sitting here at the moment talking about top 4 material, but outside the 8, how did you get in that position?
How did we get into that position? We lost a few games. That's the basis of it. But yeah, obviously we'd love to be in the top 8, and we'd love to be in the top 4. But at the moment, we're mathematically still a chance. So we're going to still put our best foot forward. And at the moment, all we can really do is just win. If we can win games, then the rest of it will take care of itself. But we're not going to focus on the past and kind of things that have happened in that sense. We're just going to focus.
Yeah, but
on
what are you doing now that you weren't doing when you were losing those games?
We've probably just gone back to the basics. One of the best things that I think we do is put pressure on teams. You look at yesterday's match, and I think at the end of the game, the pressure on the forward line was massive, and I think that's kind of one of the staples we've come back to as a team and be able to get back to our best.
Plus 30 tackles just on that point. Tackling was enormous yesterday. And to Nick Daicos, 4 goals down at quarter time, and his second quarter was as good an individual quarter as we've seen this year. This goal is as good as we'll see this year. Unbelievable. 14 he had in the second term and 2 goals. Mason, put it into words for us if you can.
After that goal, that first goal, he took about 2 bounces and kicked it. I think he just walked up to him and I said, "You're an absolute freak." And he just kind of looks at me and just goes off to the next thing. He's one of those players. I think Craig said about it last night. He's like, as a grandparent, I'm going to sit there and say, I coach Nick Daicos, and I'll be definitely a ruckman that sit there and said I gave a few taps to him over my years. And it's incredible what he's doing, at his age, and we're very fortunate to have him on board.
Absolutely. What does the future hold for Mason Cox? So you play football for Collingwood, maybe for the next 5 or 6 years, hopefully win another premiership. What does post-football look like for you, being an American and dual Australian citizen?
Yeah, hopefully there's a lot of opportunities once I finish up. I'd love to do a bit of media. I'd love to be involved. Just the Olympics in Los Angeles coming up would be pretty cool to kind of be involved in that, and who knows, maybe get into flag football.
You have to ask permission.
You have to ask permission. Yeah. You did really well over the.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Your foot in early.
What did I do over there that took your fancy?
Your interviews with the Fox sisters were
Okay, right. I take it all back about time.
It was a good try for me under the bus. Didn't work too well. But hopefully something like that. I think I love doing this kind of stuff. I love being involved in the media. And I think it's a good different perspective for a lot of different things, given my background where I come from.
Who's the best side you've played this year? Where do Hawthorn sit in that recent loss you had to them? Yeah,
Hawthorn's probably the most informed team, I'd say, with the most momentum right now. Probably the best team you look at. Yeah, I mean, WWOS is a really good side, I think. As long as they have all their kind of stars back, I think they're going to be a very tough team whenever it comes to finals. But like you've seen the whole year, I think everyone's pretty even keel. And the AFL will be pretty happy with that, with the opportunities of people trying to make it into the 8 and then excitement around it.
Mason, still Sidebottom's had another good season and a good month of footy. He was influential yesterday, wasn't he, with the 26 touches and the effect that he had in that result. He is likely to go around again in your eyes?
I hope so. I don't make contracts, nor do I deal with money. Otherwise, I'll be on a lot bigger pay package. But still, he's one of those people. I think you look at his experience. You look at last night. I think he was on Lachie Neale, one of the best players in the league, and his ability to help out with the team and do the team role in that sense is pretty incredible. And he's done that for the past couple of weeks for us. And, we value him highly. He's kind of one of those glue guys at the club. He always kind of makes a joke here and there to kind of lighten up the mood. And, he's someone that we really enjoy at the club. So, I'm not going to put any words into anyone's mouth at the club to not get in trouble. But as a player and, as a teammate, I'd love to have him there.
The votes yesterday will be two blokes fighting out for Collingwood's best and fairest, I would have thought. Nick Daicos and Darcy Cameron, I think, were two outstanding players again yesterday. Jeremy Howe's marking behind the ball was outstanding. And Joey Daniher, he had some bad moments, but he also had some great moments, and I think he was Brisbane's best player. All right, and of course, Mason Cox here as part of your ambassadorship with the Sporting Globe, and you're going to be back on the handball a little later on with your teammate TJ to tell us a little bit more about that. And you might have a few surprises in store for some of the guys. Yeah, so we've got 5 levels of hot wings. We're going to try to get some of y'all to enjoy. But now I've got TJ on, who's an incredible person. But yeah, the Sporting Globe, they've got a new event space over there and restaurant in Bridge Road. It's a $3 million renovation. Pretty amazing what they've done. They've got virtual darts and all these kind of different games you can play. And it's been an incredible kind of change. Like, we did Mad Monday last year, and I think they had to shut it down after our Mad Monday and then do a bit of renovations, and now they've reopened. So, it's a beautiful place, and highly recommend anyone to go. All right, well, let's hope your Mad Monday is in early October. Agreed.
And for you too, TJ. Sorry? And for you, so you don't have to wash the windows. Yeah, I've got to talk to you about that too. That's why I'm a little bit dirty. Because so confused. You're confused. Yeah. Your thought. Mid-year, I suggested that you guys could miss the 8, and TJ said it won't. Thank you, I appreciate that. And TJ said it won't happen. If it does happen, I'll wash cars for 2 hours on Punt Road. Wash car windows for 2 hours on Punt Road. Squeegee. So, wow. Squeegee. So, free of charge. For both our sakes, let's hope we're not. Yeah. So you can understand why I'm a little miffed at the moment. All righty, we're going to take a break on the Sunday Footy Show. We'll see you a little later on in the handball. Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. I feel like I'm back now. Sort of like an hour 50 into the show. A little rusty at the start. Yeah, what about Kane? Kane's gone hard today, isn't he? Can I tell you, that was worth waiting 7 weeks for to come back for that. That was... that one for you, TJ. That volcano was something. Have you got security out the front of your place over in Adelaide? I'll be right. You sure? Yep. Just put the 3 boys out there. Oh, no, not Sonny in case he gets... No, Sonny's the protected one. We've got a couple of very special guests. What's wrong with you? Just laughing at you. It's good to have you back. No, it's not. You're spewing on back. You are filthy on back, aren't you? I tell you who we're very excited to have here in the studio this morning is from the Collingwood Football Club, Mason Cox. How are you, mate? I'm good. How are you? Yeah, going well, thanks. And also from the Collingwood Football Club, the man known as TJ, Jiath. How are you, mate? Good, thank you. How are you? Yeah, good. TJ, you don't sort of like... It's a bit sort of like... Not the greatest sort of moniker to have. I wasn't happy with it, but that's fine. Exactly. We're going to talk to you in detail a little later on. But, Mason, you're here not just to show you your skills, of course, with the handball, but also to reflect on last night and the season in general and what might lie ahead. But also you're an ambassador of sorts for the Sporting Globe in Richmond. Yeah, so the Sporting Globe in Richmond has a new opening up. So we've actually got some hot wings. You'll be very excited, TJ. That's you. That's you. That's you, TJ. Chompers. Sorry, you'll be very excited, Chompers. But...
We do have
told you.
plenty of chicken wings, brother. They did just open up a new sporting club over there on Richmond off Bridge Road. It's a $3 million renovation, so it's a massive place with all kinds of games and everything else. So definitely go check it out.
All right, so guys, do you want to start off, Damo, and have a little bit of a chicken wing challenge here? Yeah. So these are spicy, yeah?
That one's the mild one. And then it goes spicier. Yeah, that one's the mild one. So we'll start with that one on the right.
You can try them all, Damo.
Yeah, Damo, try that one.
Damo, give us...
Pretty good, Damo.
Succulent?
Yeah.
If that's mild, I'm going well.
Do we need some tissues to dab your forehead there?
It's pretty good.
Okay, do it. Kane, you go the next one.
I'm okay, TJ.
Oh, actually, no. Kane hasn't eaten in 2 years.
Okay.
Bordeaux, you go.
You can take the heat.
I'll have one.
Go, Brandon. Go.
Go on, Nathan.
That's the mild one, mate.
All right. So these are the monthly challenge, are they, at the Sporting Globe?
Yes, yeah. So it's a monthly challenge. They got the Melbourne Demons are coming in, I think, next week to do the hot wing challenge. So go check it out. But it is. Hopefully, you know what the wild thing is? It's actually in reverse. So, Damo, apologies. You got screwed over there. You should have jumped up. You were so excited to get the wing. I was hoping Choppers would be the first one. I was like, he's for sure going to be hungry.
I'm starting to sweat.
And then you just rocked up and go, no, I'll take it. Going for the team.
No,
That's
poor
good
old
by you.
Damo.
You're sweating. You're sweating.
No, I'm sweating off top.
Lucky we did this at the end of the show as opposed to the start. You got tears in your eyes.
You have a crack, TJ.
Yeah.
TJ.
All righty.
TJ, you have a go.
Sorry?
No, you have one.
Well, can you talk a little bit more to me?
We'll do this. We'll do this.
Have a go,
You have a feed.
You haven't pushed the plate away in London or Paris.
Sorry? What was that? Oh, you're a big tough guy publicly, yet privately you're sending me text messages like, don't know how you put up with Lordo on the show, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Hey, while he's having something to eat, Stu, talk us through your season at the Pies.
Yeah, it's been good. I was just talking to Kane before, saying how quick the season's gone, but I've been chipping away at the VFL. Had a good win yesterday, but for the most part, it's been really exciting for me.
And this is your one game this season?
Yeah, I think this is the play that I had the double cramp. But yeah, that was the one game I played in. Obviously, the big comeback we had was good to share it with my family. Obviously, big part of my journey. But when people talk to me about my debut, I don't remember much. I know it was a blur. But yeah, we came away with a win in front of the Magpie fans. So yeah, it was elite.
Amazing football family. Your brother, of course, CJ, who's dominating. But your first season, the challenges for you, you mentioned the double cramp and preparing yourself. I mean, take us through what it's like to get drafted the high, but then to realise, okay, I've got to prepare myself to have a really long career. Has that been a challenge?
Yeah, CJ obviously was a big part of my journey, and he'd always say to me, enjoy being one of the better players in your teams at the junior level, because once you're in the system, you got to work your way up the ranks. I came in, I'm obviously still pretty skinny. Yeah. Pre-season was very tough, trying to get into the gym and match it with the big boys. But still, even now, like I'm still struggling to match at a VFL level. So obviously the pre-season will be big for me, just trying to get on weight, trying to have another year in the system, and just putting my head down and trying to earn respect from the coaches and stuff.
Now, you came out here when you were 2, and your dad designated Collingwood as the family's club. Why is that? I love this story.
Yeah, so when Dad came over, obviously he didn't have a team. So he looked at the colours of all the teams and he said, well, Collingwood are black and white, and we are obviously African and coloured people. So coming into a pretty white country, he said, it resonates with us. So yeah, he chose Collingwood.
Well, I'm glad he did, because you're playing for them. You've got a great future. All righty, now, Collingwood?
Growing up, yes, mad Collingwood fan. Yeah, the whole Oz kick thing he said too. Yeah, that all traits. But no, so it's an incredible story. He's very humble with the whole thing, but he's told a bit about it to the club and their whole family. It was great to have him on his debut, and it really meant a lot. It was a pretty emotional, I think, experience having them around.
All right, now you guys have come into our nest, but we're heading into yours, because on August 30, this is probably the worst photo they could have picked.
What?
This is celebrating the start of the footy finals with us, the Channel 9 Sunday Footy Show, live at the Glass House. Seriously, that is going to change.
I had Bell's balls.
This was a photo done for a retro round. I think.
Photos.
Anyway, so Friday the 30th of August, 11:30 through until 2:30 at the Olympic Park, the Glasshouse area there. You can get your tickets at BWH or bwhospitality.com.au. I'm sure it's going to be fun.
And they are playing for the best prize pack in the business today. So the Tempur mattress delivers true restful sleep night after night. Would you believe in the Athletes Village they sent Tempur mattresses in for Ariane Titmus and also Molly O'Callaghan because the bed was so bad in there. Were so many Tempur mattresses in there. That's why we won so much gold and a set of custom fit AI Smoke golf clubs from Callaway.
Are you struggling with it?
Because of those hot wings are so hot and the Odyssey white hot putter. But we won so many gold because of Tempur. So congratulations to Tempur for getting they're really hot.
All right, let's move the target. Let's move the target. Right, it's an all Collingwood showdown here on the Sunday Footy Show. Let's go.
You on first?
No, you got
Damo's sweating up the beauty over there.
Damo's got a sweat come off the back of his neck.
How many shots we get?
Five right.
Right there, sir.
Seven.
Yeah, nice style. I like that.
Oh, no.
5, 12. 7,
19.
7,
26.
Hands, Damo.
Mouth bite.
7.
And 33.
Well done, good start.
All right, 33, not a bad start. 7, very good
Come on,
handball.
7 doesn't go through.
It has to go through. 5, 12. 7,
19.
7,
26.
7.
And 33.
Generous
that
there.
was a generous 7.
Very generous
That's right.
7.
It is even.
Very generous 7, Lordo.
7.
40.
I'll give that a 7. 7.
Love that.
54.
Even it up.
Mason's not happy.
7.
61.
5.
And 66. Clickety clicks.
All right, so Mason needs 34 to win.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Off the left.
I saw him throw a ball on the ground once.
Chance of it, honest with you.
7.
40.
7. That was a clear 7. That's a 2.
49.
7. What's he need?
56. He needs a bullseye.
Hang on.
To level it
Just
up.
build the moment. Build the moment.
Hey, what are you doing?
You need a bullseye.
Do we let him go right-handed on
Chance
this
I can just give
No,
the check.
you're on the non-preferred, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, it's my left hand. Come on. You should
Well,
be able to
either hand,
realise that
really.
by now.
Bad luck.
61.
I like this one.
There you go. All right, our winner for today is TJ. Well done, mate.
TJ.
There you go. Congratulations.
Hold on, mate. Sleep well.